Welcome to NBA Now with Chat Sports. We are chatting everything NBA draft and NBA trade rumors today. And of course, we're centering around the center that everybody wants, Anthony Davis. And of course, the Lakers are the number one team on Anthony Davis's radar right now. And the Lakers are trying to make it happen with the quickest and simplest way possible by sending over Brandon Ingram, Lonzo Ball, and potentially the number 4 overall pick for Anthony Davis. Now, there's different rumors surrounding will that number 4 overall pick be the holdup here, but for right now, those 3 assets are what the Lakers are reportedly offering the Pelicans to get AD to LA. What's interesting is how much the Lakers are valuing Kyle Kuzma right now. And honestly, if you're the Pelicans, that's another asset that you should demand, because the Lakers need Anthony Davis more than anything right now with everything that's happened with their offseason. So I know a lot of Pelicans fans don't want this trade to happen with the Lakers, knowing how LA just totally derailed the Pelican season last year with Rich Paul and whatnot. But that seems to be right now not only the most likely offer, but to me, the best offer. And if this trade were to happen, I see the Lakers starting lineup looking like LeBron James, Anthony Davis, Kyle Kuzma, Hart, and Boogie Cousins. Yes, I do think Boogie will end up going to Los Angeles. I do think the Lakers will either get Boogie or a Jimmy Butler type player, but I do think the Lakers will get multiple free agents. And Boogie in LA, with everything that's gone on out there, what better fit could there be with Boogie and the Lakers? So, if the Pelicans were to take this trade, it would look like this, their starting lineup: Zion, Drew, Brandon Ingram, Julius Randle, and of course, that 5th starter. Let's go with Lonzo. Why not? There's some other players that could potentially be there, but I would guess it would be Lonzo Ball if he's a part of that trade. However, David Griffin and the Pelicans have let it be known that this might take a third team to get exactly what the Pelicans want out of this trade. And a trade for the Pelicans, if it were a 3-way deal, would go like this. The Pelicans would get Kuz, Hart, Levine, Zach Levine, the former slam dunk champion, also a great outside shooter. The Pelicans would also get the 7th overall pick and a 2020 LA first unprotected pick, where the Bulls would get Lonzo Ball, the number 4 overall pick, and a really solid player in Solomon Hill. And of course, the Pelicans would end up giving Anthony Davis over to the Lakers. And I could totally see this happening. I think, though, from my personal vantage point, and we'll get into this a little bit later, I do think that number 4 overall pick is far more valuable than the number 7 overall pick, because there's one player I really like at number 4 that I think would be a great fit for the Pelicans. We'll get to that in just a moment. But first, I want to ask you a question regarding all the kerfluffle, however you say that word, with Anthony Davis over this past year. Do you think the Pelicans will one day retire the jersey of the 6-time All-Star from Kentucky? Type Y for yes down low, or type N for no. For me, I do think they will eventually retire his jersey. 6-time All-Star, the playoff series win over the Blazers. I totally see it happening. Also, Anthony Davis is going to continue to have a great career, and time heals all wounds. So, if it was a franchise like the Lakers or the Celtics, maybe not. But the Pelicans, their history isn't as vast. I could totally see Anthony Davis, number 23 jersey, up into the rafters one day. Now, one thing that's going to be interesting is the timetable of the Anthony Davis trade, wherever it might actually go. As I discussed in my last Chat Sports video, it could be any team from the Lakers to the Celtics to the Clippers to the Nuggets. Heck, I wouldn't be surprised if it was the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We've heard every single team out there. And honestly, the Pelicans would like to have this 3-team deal in place, or just a trade, by the weekend. So for me, obviously the timetable is important because there are draft picks involved. And because of the draft picks, the Pelicans would like to know who they would potentially draft, because June 20th is getting here before we know it. Here's the thing. Yes, the Lakers are the leaders in the trade, and most of you are predicting Anthony Davis to end up going to LA. But remember, it's the Los Angeles Lakers. This has been the biggest train wreck of an offseason that I can even remember. And heck, the Knicks still exist. So the thing is, you got to go through Linda Rambis, Kurt Rambis, Jeannie Buss, Rob Pelinka, whoever their coach is going to be next year, Frank Vogel, Jason Kidd, LeBron. You got to go through all these, Rich Paul. I just feel in my heart of hearts right now, the Lakers are the leaders. But they're the Lakers. And just because of that simple fact, I could totally see the Lakers totally botching this entire thing, including, if you want Anthony Davis so bad, why are you clutching your pearls to keep Kyle Kuzma? Like, Kuzma's a good player, but Anthony Davis is a Hall of Famer. And that's who LeBron James would trade everybody on his roster for right now. So I could totally see why the Lakers would want to keep Kuzma. I can understand they're playing hardball. I think that they know the Pelicans want to get this trade done. With that said, if you're the Lakers, you need to get AD before someone comes in and swoops in and takes him. A quick reminder, everything NBA draft, every single pick, the NBA draft will be live on Chat Sports YouTube. Now, if you're not mobile or whatever, you can always just type this URL in, youtube.com/chatsportstv, but you can just get to this video on any device, hit that subscribe button, and you're never missing any Chat Sports video. I want to switch over to the Celtics here just for a little bit. And for me, Rich Paul seems to be the real maestro of this whole situation. He's Anthony Davis's agent. He's also LeBron James's agent. And he's already let it be known to Sports Illustrated and just through different channels that Anthony Davis would be a 1-year player for the Celtics. Now, that can change. If you're the Celtics, you need a star to make that championship push. I think a lot more teams are more reasonable to take a chance on a star because they've seen what Toronto did with Kawhi Leonard this year. They were able to make a run to the finals because they took a chance on a guy that is still up in the air about re-signing with you. So the Celtics and Danny Ainge, knowing they're in the friend zone of the NBA, knowing that they can't quite get over the hump, they might actually try to make this deal happen. Now here's the thing. The Celtics can't make this trade because of all this legal or this NBA draft mumbo jumbo. They can't make a trade until July 1st. So that also hurts them because they're a little bit behind the 8 ball here. Also, the Celtics are going to not worry about free agency. And this is just a big part of the NBA. You are at the mercy of the superstar. So they will do whatever it takes to get AD to Boston because they know they need more. But once again, it's a 1-year thing. I still think Anthony Davis is going to do whatever it takes to get out west in LA, where he has a lot of family, friends, a house. So obviously that's where Anthony Davis wants to be for the next portion of his career. Here's the thing. You look at the NBA title odds really quickly. According to Caesars, the Lakers have improved from 8-1 to 5-1. Yes, A team that didn't even make the playoffs has already moved from 8-1 to 5-1, which lets you know that Vegas thinks Anthony Davis is going to the Lakers. They also think the Celtics are a good team because their odds went from 16-1 to 10-1. And the Pelicans' odds have decreased from 40-1 to 60-1. That's how seismic of a player Anthony Davis is. He will shift the entire flow of the NBA. If you don't follow me on Twitter, come on. What are you doing? You not only get some NBA hot takes, you get Saints, you get pictures of my puppy Wuppy, Bernie, Booger. Ooh, I love you so much, Boogie Woogie. So go to @CarterThePower. That's Twitter, Snapchat, Instagram, FarmersOnly.com. It doesn't matter. That's my profile on everything. Now, let's get to some of these other teams. The Nets and the Clippers, they simply don't have the assets to make the trade for Anthony Davis. I think those teams are out. I do think it'll end up being the Celtics or the Lakers. For me, the Nets and the Clippers are two teams that have this interest. And I look at the Nets asset. I like LeVert. I like Jared Allen. Joe Harris could also be a player and a great outside shooter that the Pelicans could desperately need. The Nets could also throw in a draft pick. But because of the uncertainty with Kyrie Irving, I could totally see Anthony Davis not being happy there. Also, the Clippers, which is also LA, they have Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who was a great guard early in his career, Danilo Gallinari, another outside shooter in the mold of Joe Harris, and a potential draft pick there. I don't think the Clippers are where they need to be. However, if you're Anthony Davis and you see that the Clippers won 2 games against Golden State, they have some great assets that you could build around, and they have a coach, a player-friendly coach in Doc Rivers. Anthony Davis could potentially be there for the Pels. So, also, this number 4 overall pick seems to be a big piece to this whole equation. I do think it is the center of this whole trade, and with the draft being so close, I think this number 4 overall pick is going to be huge. Now, let's say the Pelicans do get the number 4 overall pick in a trade with LA. There are a few players that I think would fit well with the Pelicans. I'll start with Darius Garland. He's a guard out of Vanderbilt. He's one of the best point guards in the draft. Kobe White's another point guard that would be available here. Obviously, the Pelicans are very happy with Drew Holiday, but Darius Garland's an elite talent. Also, Jarrett Allen, the Big 12 Player of the Year, National Championship runner-up, tremendous outside shooter, hard worker, former 3-star recruit. I think he could be a fit there, but my favorite non-Zion Williamson player in the draft, I have him rated higher than Cam Reddish. I have him rated higher than Ja Morant. I have him rated higher than RJ Barrett. I love DeAndre Hunter out of VA. National champion. He is a tremendous outside shooter. He shot the 3-point shot at a high level. He's long. He's a great defender. He's got a great head on his shoulders. And also, I think he was held back playing Virginia's conservative style of basketball. I think he's the next Pascal Siakam. That's a championship level player for the Raptors. I think he would fit perfectly to what the Pelicans need. An outside shooter that would open up the lane and that can also play well on both ends of the floor. So because I'm so high on DeAndre Hunter, I would love the Pelicans to get that number 4 overall pick, which is why I believe the Lakers are the best fit for an Anthony Davis trade from a Pelicans point of view. So there you go. Zion Williamson, he's visiting the Pelicans this week. They better take him to everywhere except Bourbon. Bourbon's crazy. Take him to Frenchman Street. Take him to Harris. Take him to Commander's Palace, which is just so delicious. But take him everywhere. Make sure he has boudin. Make sure he has the best crackling. Make sure you take him to the aquarium. Make sure you take him to every live jazz bar. Take him to a comedy show. Heck, take him everywhere. Show him that New Orleans is the best city out there. And for me, you look at Zion Williamson's freshman stats, and it's crazy how Coach K changed the way he played basketball to surround Zion Williamson. And really focusing in here on what he did during the NCAA tournament, he took his game to an even higher level, making those big offensive boards late, getting those huge putbacks, those crazy dunks. We saw his ability to shoot some shots from the outside. So I think Zion Williamson is going to be a tremendous NBA player. I thought he was a great player at Duke. Obviously, he has one torn shoe. I don't know how many stats. I don't know if Basketball Reference keep up with torn shoes, but he was an excellent player in college. And when I look into what he's going to do next year in the NBA, I find him fascinating. And I want to throw this out here for all our Chat Sports viewers. How many points per game will Zion Williamson will he have as a rookie for the New Orleans Pelicans? Please comment below, and of course, I reply to every comment I possibly can. Now, obviously, the Pelicans front office, they love Zion Williamson. The number one thing they need to do, surround him with shooters to open up the lane to let him do what he does best. So, for me, if I were to predict Zion Williamson's rookie stats, I see him going 18, 9, and 3 per game with a steal and 3 blocks per game. Yeah, reach for the stars. Why not? It would probably be more around 1 or 2, but still, that's an underrated aspect of Zion Williamson's game, is his ability to block shots. Now, you look at David Griffin. A lot of changes happened in the front office. He's a new basketball operations guy with the New Orleans Pelicans. He got Trajan Langdon as his general manager. He brought in Swin Cash, WNBA champion, to be the player personnel director. I love this front office for the Pelicans, especially with owner Gail Benson developing more money, donating more money for new practice facilities. Obviously, the Pelicans got a better athletic training staff. You look at David Griffin, you look at his past number 1 overall picks that include Kyrie Irving in 2011, Anthony Bennett, which was a disaster in 2013, and then Andrew Wiggins with the number 1 overall pick, but that was eventually traded. Number 4 overall pick Dion Waiters, and number 4 overall pick Tristan Thompson, which ended up working itself out. So there you go, Chat Sports, great video. We should know within the week where Anthony Davis is going to go. My name is Carter the Power Bryant. I want all kinds of comments. If you want to talk about how bad I look, someone called me a whack, nerdy Carlton from Fresh Prince. Oliver, or whatever your name was, that commented. That's the biggest compliment I've ever gotten, okay? Because it's not unusual to be loved by anyone, okay? So let me know what you think about this video. I do reply to comments. I love you, Chat Sports. We shall talk soon. Peace.